good whatever part of the day it is for you. For me, it's morning. I try to get out here a little bit earlier because things are changing rapidly right now, and we got a lot to do this morning. So I just wanted to get out here a little bit earlier. I got myself together, so that's okay. First, hot chocolate, like warm chocolate. I wanted to talk about the irony of me worrying about like my life's purpose and journey, like what I was supposed to be doing. There was this affirmation that I got that said that I am so grateful for the journey and the choices that I have made that led me down the path of happiness. And it made me think about all of the decisions I ever created, all of the things I've ever done that made me who I am today, that brought me here. Because without any of those things ever transpiring, down to the very little parts of me when I was like a baby, I wouldn't be who I am right now, and I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be able to experience and do the things that I've done. And it just made me extremely grateful, and it made me want to keep in mind the beauty of everything. I struggled a lot before this. I still struggle a little bit, like with human, but it's nowhere near as much as it used to be. I struggled a lot with what am I doing here? What is the purpose of this? Every day, like, I question getting up. Like, there has to be more to life than, the same routine. Getting up, going to the gym, going to work, working sometimes 16, 17 hours, coming home, unwinding a little bit, going to sleep, getting up, going to work. Like, I had no enjoyment. I've always been me and silly and clown and, found the beauty in little things. Like, oh my God, look at that butterfly. Like, I'm so grateful. But I've never, I always kept myself busy. There's like a part of me that didn't want to sit still because I didn't want to think about what am I supposed to be doing? What is next? Because I always got hung up on, like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and my peers are like accelerating in careers and life, and I'm just here. Prior to moving in with my man, I was living with my grandmother in a basement, and it was very I love my grandmother, but it was very draining. There was no sunshine. Plants were always dying. Ironically, the only place the plants were living were in the basement in the cold with me. And it was just I just questioned, what am I doing? If I don't make a change soon, I'm just gonna disappear. It wasn't like I'm going to, but it was just I'm gonna disappear. Because what is the purpose of this? I questioned that, and I found in motherhood purpose. I found a reason, and I realized that a purpose in life doesn't have to be this grandiose thing. Did I say that right? But it doesn't have to be this huge orchestrated event. Your purpose is something that you get up for and why you keep going. And I had it all confused, but it wasn't my fault. It's taught to us that way, to think that we're supposed to get up and have these extravagant careers and do these things that make society run, which I'm grateful for. I'm very grateful for modern society. I don't know how I would feel if I had to wash laundry by my hands in a scrub bucket, but at the same time, that's not everybody's purpose, and people don't feel fulfilled like that. And the ones who do, thank you, because you keep society going. For those who, not society, but this modern system, but for those of you who don't, you probably struggle. You're probably depressed or questioning like I was. And it's hard that they made everything centered around a system that is not meant for human, if that makes sense. After becoming a mom, a stay-at-home mom, after working so long in so many jobs, and after becoming a mom, I realized not don't want to work again, because I like doing stuff, and we'll get into that in a second. But I don't want to have to do anything like that again. I would if push come to shove, and God forbid, but that's not a life. And I always wanted either like to get away from society, like a little tiny home or like an RV and travel around. But now that I got a family that I'm creating on my own, and it's not just me, like I want a homestead, or you know, God willing, a farm, and not just a little piece of something, but a big something. And I want cute ass animals all over the place, and I want my kids to explore in nature and homeschool. So maybe my purpose outside of motherhood, if we're thinking like what's the grand thing, is to break the thought that we have to be a part of a system, robotic and not human. But when I think about all the things that is problematic with society, it's that we're not in tune with nature, we're not in tune with ourselves, we're not in tune with each other. There's no type of connection at all, and that, I think, was genuinely the reason of being on this earth. Because without that connection and without that love, there would be no human, right? Like we had to procreate, we have to connect to build things. You think about like back in olden times when they were trading and bartering and just learning things to be self-sufficient. Like how many of us could really be self-sufficient if everything that was built up around money is gone? And I think that is okay to be your life purpose. If it's to like learn how to do homesteading stuff, and just, it's okay. Like I tell myself that all the time. It is okay if your life purpose is to break away from the system, which I think it is, in manners that, like, if it's big or small. So leading protests, or just being a mom who doesn't teach and apply those same principles, and breaking patterns from the past. And that was something that was big for me, to learn how to do that for myself. And I know it's gonna take a whole lifetime. It's just what we've been talking about, like being mindful and keeping yourself in check. But yeah, breaking these patterns and not teaching the same ideas to my kids, and not passing those down, letting them be more free, and not in this, I hate to say it, like, I don't want to say slave mindset, but it is like a money slave mindset. Will it be a little harder, like having to homeschool my kids? Maybe, but who knows, it might be easy as hell, because then I get to teach them what we want to teach them. But anyways, so if you're having struggles and you don't know what your life purpose is, do not fear. I am here. No, I'm not I'm a professional or nothing, but these are just some things that I have thought when I had these things pop up, and I just share them, I guess. So this one's kind of like easy. I don't want to say easy and then for someone who's struggling it'd be like, I didn't think of that, so it wasn't easy for me. But I mean easy as in like, this is gonna be quick, it's not gonna be like boom boom boom. So simply, what are things that you enjoy doing? We tend to look at these as like just hobbies, and they don't have to be. You can really make your hobbies a purpose in something you do. The reason you don't is because you're focused on money to survive, and it was set up like that, and it freaking sucks. So what is it that you like to do? What is it that you're good at naturally? Naturally, the thing I prized myself on the most was I was a good caretaker, a good friend. Emotionally there, physically would show up to be there for people, overextend myself to make sure people were comfortable. Just a great caretaker. A lot of the times I got placed as the mom friend if I was the drinker friend, but if I got somebody too drunk or like realized their limits and their patterns, like, I'm the mom friend. You need to throw up, I'm holding your hair, I'm getting you something to eat, I'm putting you to bed, I'm giving you water, I'm checking on you. Like, I'm the mom friend. No, I'm the mom. What are you passionate about? What are things that are easy for you to learn, or you like to learn? Topics you like to dig into? Because really, this is going to be like, if you like learning about it, and you can dig deeper, and you can get into the little nooks and crannies and maybe places that other people haven't explored. If you want that grand if you want that grand life purpose, if you want to keep it simple, cool, be the mom, be the dad. But if you want to dig deeper, go that route. Just don't stop learning. about the things that you're passionate about. Next, what does your ideal future look? What if you had money was not an issue, everything was good? What does your ideal future look like? Boiled down to the smallest details. What are your routines when you wake? What do your relationships look like? What is it that you're doing day to day? What kind of clothes do you wear? What kind of car do you drive? Do you drive a car? Figure that out. What does your ideal future look like? Is it a homestead or a tiny home traveling the world? What is it that you can do today that would lead towards your purpose to make you just a little bit happier while you're transitioning? Remember that your purpose is unique to you. To me, mine's mom. There's moms out there whose purpose that they might find is something totally different, and mom is just like a job for them, and that's okay. If mom wants to, you know, be that person that helps make society run, that's cool. We appreciate you. Little thumbs. But your purpose is going to be unique to you. So remember, compassion. Don't compare yourself and your purpose to anybody else. So little Jennifer, none of what your friends were doing made them better than you at the time that they were doing them, and you weren't doing any. None of what your friends, or peers rather, none of what your peers are doing now is better than what you're doing, because your journey is different than theirs. You can definitely be proud of them because they're succeeding in ways they want to. That's cool. Be open to evolving. Don't be stuck on one specific thing, because your journey, it might start out as like, oh, I'm going to be a revolutionary, changing the world. But it can evolve into something that you might find is much more greater, even if it's not that big thing. So just be open-minded into evolving and be compassionate. I think lastly and most important, this might be most important repeat of any video I ever do, is have faith. Trust yourself. Have faith in yourself. Trust your intuition. If you call it intuition, your inner voice, conscience, God, whatever. Trust that. Trust that voice. Trust that it's going to lead you to the right places, and you're going to make the right choices to lead you down to the path of happiness. Lead you to your path of purpose. Be sure you trust that. It might take some work, so we're working on it together to clear out the voices in our head, to clear out the negativity, to clear out the junk, to make space for the new positive us. But when you get an inkling and you hear a voice that's telling you something a little bit different than what you normally do, trust it, listen to it, jot it down, come back to it, because you're hearing that for a reason. Don't question it. Don't be fearful. Trust yourself. Trust God. Everything will be all right. Whether your purpose is revolutionary or if it's just breaking a system and creating a new pattern within your own little family unit, is something that's specific to you. It's your calling, nobody else's, and you're called to it for a reason, and you should be proud of that. So yeah, be kind, and I hope that helped, and I hope you guys have an awesome whatever time of day it is continued. Bye.